When you think of diversity, does the University of Tennessee come to mind?
I feel as though the University of Tennessee does try to implement inclusion and diversity into the university. There's a bit of a stretch that we've been able to see over the years. So I'm currently a sophomore, and I have yet to see the diversity that I wanted to on this campus. Given that people come from different backgrounds and areas of Tennessee or the world, it just seems like there is a stretch, and people tend to stick around with what they feel most comfortable doing, let alone trying to make everything more inclusive and more diverse on this campus. Everybody says they want diversity, yet you need to, like, I feel like everybody needs to put their best foot forward in order to implement that, rather than just saying that that's what they want to see.
I believe that the university lacks diversity because most of my classes that I'm in the College of Business, and the majority of the classes that I am, when I look around, I'm the only person who looks like me. Majority of the people are different ethnicity and races, and sometimes I feel like I can't relate to them.
Welcoming to all and hostile to none is a phrase the University of Tennessee aspires to live by. However, racial statistics may be sending another message, with 7% of African Americans, 3% of Asian and Hispanic Americans, 0% Native Americans, 2% international, and 81% white. Ricky Hall, Vice Chancellor for Diversity and Inclusion, stated his opinion on why he believes the University of Tennessee lacks diversity.
We also got to be able to be competitive with other institutions in terms of the students that we're trying to recruit here are some of the best and brightest, but we often don't have the same kind of financial packages that some of our competitors have. And so as much as I'd want them here, realistically, unless somebody's just like, I'm dying to come here, if you're getting a better package from another institution, which is another institution that is equally as good as UT, the chances are that you probably aren't going to come here. If I'm doing my job well and hopefully, over time, that diversity and inclusion will touch every aspect of the academic enterprise. It really should, if it's really a core value for this institution, because that's diversity and inclusion is really what's going to help make us be a top institution.
To gain a student's perspective, I asked President of the organization Diversity Student Leader Society, Courtney Boykin, to give her point of view on what she believes diversity is and why UT lacks it.
I would define diversity as just the elements that make us different. So everything from race, age, sexuality, religion, all of that. That's diversity. But the important part about diversity is that it means nothing without inclusion. And inclusion is when you really embrace the differences and not just say that you're different, but say you're different and I love you because you're different and I'm going to accept you because you're different. I think UT lacks, not only do they do lack diversity, of course. When you think of like race, the statistics of the population here, there are obviously more white students than any other race by leaps and bounds. Like, that's an obvious thing. But even more than that, UT just lacks inclusion. When you do have those diverse people and you do have those different people, they aren't included with the UT society. I'm not sure what study it was, but apparently UT is top on the most uninclusive campus list. We are not nice. Basically, that's basically what that means. UT is not a nice campus for people with different beliefs, with different races, ages, all that kind of thing, all that kind of stuff. So I guess, how do you fix it? Well, it's gonna take more than just diversity and inclusion paper programs. And by that, I mean there are groups or programs or initiatives that are in place simply because it looks good. And I think in order to really be inclusive, you have to have people who have a heart for diversity and inclusion. If we have more people like that, then I think UT will be okay. They'll be all right.